Yes, sir. Huda sir is busy with an emergency today, so he may not be able to join us. So without wasting any time, I think we can start.
Understood.
Yes, sir. A very pleasant evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. Bharati Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVICAM, in association with Computational Intelligence Society, CIS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Computer Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Technology and Engineering Management Society, TEMS chapter of IEEE Delhi section, System, Man and Cybernetics SMC Society chapter of IEEE Delhi section, Communication Society of IEEE Delhi section, Consultants Network Affinity CNA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Life Member Affinity LMA Group of IEEE Delhi section, Inter-Society Relations IRS Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi section, Industry Relations and Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology, Site Standing Committees of IEEE Delhi section, Region 10 of IEEE with the associations of Computer Society of India, Institute of Information Technology Professionals IITP, ISTE Delhi section, and IETE Delhi Center as technical collaborator welcomes you all to the IEEE IETE BVICAM Technical Lecture Series on navigating the perils, unveiling the risk of AI adoption in the corporate realm. According to Vivian Mink, a lot of times the failings are not in AI, they are human feelings, and we are not willing to address the fact that there isn't a lot of diversity in the teams building the systems in the first place. And somewhat innocently, they aren't as thoughtful about balancing training sets to get the things to work correctly. But then teams let that occur again and again. AI is a necessary evil, but it's an animal that can be tamed for the benefit of the humanity to build a resilient world. The corporate world is embracing the AI faster than any other technology, arguably. Our expert, Professor Damandev Sood, will discuss the risk associated with this adoption. The talk will be based on his own global research as well as inputs from articles by Forbes, LinkedIn, World Economic Forum, University of the West of England, etc. The first step in risk management is to actually admit it. The session will help us in doing so. Let us not be pigeons, the basic principle of risk management. The webinar today will discuss the all-round perspective, including the real-time issues and challenges involved with AI integration into the corporate realm. Before beginning, I would first take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I would now first welcome amongst us our expert speaker, Mr. Damandev Sood, sir, with an e-bouquet. Welcome to the session, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Mr. Damandev Sood, sir, has recently also started his stint as professor of practice at Chitkara University. With over 4 decades of experience in the industry and over 2 decades in the resilience domain, Sir is a certified international and corporate trainer with over 14,500 hours of training and teaching experience, achieving over 100% NPS and holding 13 copyrights. A CPD member, 2 of his courses are already CPD certified. The author of 6 published books on resilience, Sir has designed over 40 courses, including those for global entities like BCI, BCS, NECMA, etc. In his professional journeys with corporate like TCS, Zansa, Continuity and Resilience, City Innovates, EY, HSBC, Sir has played various senior executive roles like principal consultant, Group Head, Practice Head, COO, CIO, VP, Board Member, Program Director, etc. Sir has also traveled and worked in over 20 countries. An international speaker, Sir has served clients in various industries like government, IT, banking, financial services, insurance, telecom, marine, manufacturing, pharma, power, media, training, etc. During his journey, he has also won multiple national and global awards and has also been inducted into the BCI Hall of Fame. As a LinkedIn invited contributor, he has contributed to over 20 articles so far and is a top voice in training and HR. Currently director at the One Person DBT Training and Consultancy, Sir serves as an international resilience trainer, consultant serving cybersecurity, operational organizational resilience, BCM, risk, as well as crisis. He is also the chair, PRP Standing Committee, IEEE Delhi Section, and IEEE Delhi Ambassador. I welcome you today to this session, sir, and would now request you to kindly enlighten the House.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ritika. Good evening, everyone. Once again, I'm waiting to score 100. Today's discussion will be a little different, or today's presentation will be a little different. It may be a little shorter also. This is kind of reading a paper or presenting my paper to you all. Topic is easy, even if the title we had picked up was long. We are talking of AI and we are talking of risks, as simple as that. To start with, before I start taking help of my slides, a question to you all, and I request fingers to be moved, please. We need to do some physical exercise also, over and above the mental exercise that we keep doing mostly. Have you used AI yet? Yes or no? I'm more interested in any no's. I'm looking at the chat window. Yes has started. Question is, are you using, have you used? Rather than are you using, have you, even if once, have you used AI? Waiting for a few more responses, actually as many as possible. This helps us to understand. So far, I see all yeses. As I said, for this question, I am more interested in knowing any no. Anyone. We are about 94 people who has not used AI. And there is one no. Okay. So I'll wait for a few more seconds. For more responses, either yes or no. Have you used AI or not yet? Now, what does that mean, using AI? When I said or asked, have you used AI in your daily work, in your official work, in your unofficial work, whichever way we could use AI. Generative AI, someone writes Alexa, okay? And most of us perhaps would have used generative AI. I am one of those. I have mostly used generative AI, nothing other than that. Alexa, there is one more response. So I'm changing the question now. Assuming all, we had one no also, perhaps there are a few more no's I might have missed. But for mostly, for yeses, have you used this officially or unofficially? Again, your responses in the chat box, please. Unofficially starts with official also, there is one, okay. So have you used this in personal work or in official work? I think that should have been the first question. Have you used AI in your personal work or in official work? mostly coming as personal. I'm waiting for you a few more seconds. I'm requesting, please, everyone, both personal and official, all right, and professional, all right, okay? All one response. Now, the fact is, and I understand, I respect that some people may not like to admit that they have been using this for official work, which is fine. And that's why the story is interesting. Whether we know this or not, whether we like this or not, whether we admit this or not, but we have been using AI officially or unofficially, even for our official work. We may not realize that we have used AI. That may be a fact today. Most likely, any search engine is using AI today. There may be a non-AI version of the search engine, but there is an AI version of search engine also. And then the generative chat GPT perhaps is one of the most famous ones, and there are many others. Right? So the fact is that people have been using AI in personal and in official work also, whether it is allowed or not, permitted or not, even if there is no. I hope you all understand. We all understand this. There is one yes, we allow the man. There is one no, we do not allow the man. And one is there is no. So perhaps people are using. You never said don't use it. And people may be using it. And I'm repeating, sometimes perhaps not even realizing or without realizing that we have been using it. Quick response. Is my slide visible? Can you see my screen? Slide?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Thank you very much. So that's the long topic, navigating the perils, unveiling the risks of AI adoption in corporate realms or corporate world. I'm repeating, simply, we are talking of AI and risk. AI may be new, but risk is inevitable. So this is based on one of my own global researches through LinkedIn. 48%, 48% of the respondents saying there is no policy about usage of machine language or artificial language. 24% said, but we are discussing, which means awareness is increasing. And 29% officially, yes, we allow, which means that the yes portion, 29%, which is still a good significant number, I would say. And there was no response to the fourth option, which was we do not allow usage of machine language or artificial intelligence. None of the respondents said that. That is that no question or option or category. Quick look at this portion. A Forbes report, I have given the link also here, says with respect to top 5 real risks of AI to your business. First one, accuracy and accountability may be questionable. Skills gap. With respect to chat GPT or any other agent of that type, we know a new skill has come up or is coming up known as prompt engineering. I'm not sure whether any university has started any course yet on that, but it may happen soon. But that's a requirement because it's for artificial intelligence, any agent, garbage in, garbage out. GIGO that we keep saying, using. If I ask a smart question, the response will be smart. If I ask a good question, the response will be good. Or to get good or smart response from the agent, I need to ask a good and smart question. There have been some doubts raised, and that could be one of the first risks of AI adoption, that our jobs are at risk, human beings not required in the world now. Whichever domain we look at, whether education, whether science, technology, development, software development, hardware development, medical science, healthcare, etc. Because robots have come up already for surgeries, for example. But to use AI, we still need this I. Our intelligence and our eyes are still required to use AI. So I guess that risk is not a big risk. I believe that risk is not a big risk. Third risk, according to Forbes report, is intellectual property and legal risks. Big question around this. I may not have exact response. I know for last 3 books, I have been asked this question while submitting. So ninth book published, released globally last week. The publisher asks me a question whether AI has been used for this. And one of the publishers, I can't recollect the name, I have not published any book with them yet. They had sent a mail to me a few months ago that they would not be accepting my inputs, my books, I mean to say, or manuscripts, if AI is used. So there's clear no from that. But Amazon, for example, on the other hand, is just saying that we are collecting this information whether AI has been used for this book. And they give 4 options: used heavily, not used heavily, and then edited, used heavily, and then edited heavily, etc. So 4, 5 options are given. So at least that is being collected, that information is being collected. But the question is around this intellectual property and legal risk. All that they say is that even if you have used, it's your problem, your headache, Daman. You will be responsible if you have used any, or if you are in infringement of any intellectual property or rights. But that was the fact even when we were writing all books manually, even if there was no AI in place at that time. That was still the author's responsibility, not the publisher's responsibility. That continues. The costs, I'm not sure, I've not gone deep into the report, but it's worth looking at whether they are saying cost is too high or is too low. But it's a risk at least identified by Forbes in using AI in the corporate world. And the end of humanity, because it seems it will be all machines. Now we have heart and emotions. Machines wouldn't have heart and emotions. Maybe 10 years down the road, they will have that also. Second, look at a LinkedIn article itself. And once again, that is risks and considerations of using AI in the corporate world. According to that article, the first one is legal and compliance risks. So almost similar to one of those in the Forbes report. User monitoring and content moderation, the challenge of watermarking, financial services compliance, internal use and record keeping, adoption trends, public versus private AI models, just like the cloud models few years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, these discussions were happening. Why? Public cloud is the most efficient, but we see more risks there, more challenges there. So we would start with private clouds first, then hybrid, and then public. The most secured systems applications will be put on private cloud, and those requiring less security relatively could go to public. cloud. So similarly, our own AI and or an open public AI could be used. Supervisory review and oversight and litigations and e-discovery concerns. So about 7, 8 risks according to LinkedIn as well. Regulatory horizon. So almost all three places we find one legal or regulatory is common risk. This one is interesting. A professor from the University of the West of England asked ChatGPT 4 identify the top implications of AI for leadership. So ChatGPT itself, himself, herself, whatever is the gender of ChatGPT, talking of some risks, job losses, it says, which I say I do not agree with immediately. Potential bias, which is possible because the way it has been trained, it depends upon that. We know that negative point has been talked a lot. Loss of control and AI arms race, which could be dangerous, very big issue for the whole world. And the last one in this series, I wanted to talk about World Economic Forum also. Global Risk Report at one place talks about risk report of 2024 this year. So the latest one has listed AI generated misinformation and disinformation as number 2 risk, which see here AI generated misinformation and disinformation. So those who have used ChatGPT have not used the paid version yet. It seems there was some response. Someone is not getting sound. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir, you are perfectly audible. I request the participants to kindly check their audio.
Thank you very much. So global risk report from World Economic Forum also putting this as number 2 risk. Current risk landscape, they say. 53% response is roughly at number 2, AI generated misinformation and disinformation. So I was saying that I have not used paid version yet. I used ChatGPT, free version, and when I started using it, which was around a year ago, perhaps, I forgot. Almost the initial days when it came out. I can't recollect whether that disclaimer was there, but now there is a disclaimer that I may make mistakes. Please be sure. Something like that. Or ChatGPT can make mistakes, please be sure. So that's what a risk everyone is saying. I would like to bring out few other risks of AI adoption in the corporate world. When I say corporate, to me, universities, colleges, institutes are also corporates. So it's not only that we are looking at companies. According to me, the universities are, the hospitals are, the malls are, every business, even if it's not for profit business, every business is a corporate world. So these talks, these risks, this talk is about all, according to me. Inherent error in GPTs. The output of GPTs will be as good or as bad as the amount and type of data and training provided to these, as well as the quality of input queries. Roughly adds at this about prompt engineering, that if my question is good, response is likely to be good. It depends on the training also that has been provided to this agent, and due to which there is a possibility of bias also, which is one of the risks identified earlier. Data privacy and security risks. As systems often rely on vast amount of data to operate effectively. However, This reliance raises concerns about data privacy and security. Mishandling of sensitive data or data breaches could lead to legal and reputational consequences for corporations. In the early months, there were some reports out that this was in IT company, software development, perhaps someone used or attempted to use ChatGPT or some other AI agent to generate code. But to generate code, those specifications would have to be fed to it, which means something which is confidential. Either internal client or external client's information was given to ChatGPT. This could be a big issue. And that company that immediately had said that then we are stopping, they would fall into that no category. We do not allow use of AI. Today, I know there are at least few, even software development companies, which are allowing officially to use AI because the productivity gains have been noticed. High productivity gains have been noticed. So there is one risk taken care of. Benefit is a good positive point, but if there are risks, then manage those risks also rather than just stop using AI. Third one, bias and fairness concerns. AI algorithms can inherit biases present in the data used for training, leading to discriminatory outcomes. Corporate AI systems may inadvertently perpetuate or exacerbate existing biases, resulting in unfair treatment of individuals or groups or incorrect decisions. Just pay a little more attention to the last one, resulting in unfair treatment of individuals or groups or incorrect decisions. In a moment, I'll touch upon that once again. Next risk I'm saying is algorithmic transparency and accountability. The opaque nature of some AI algorithms makes it difficult to understand their decision-making processes, leading to concerns about accountability and transparency. And scenarios where AI systems make critical decisions, such as in hiring or lending, the lack of transparency can undermine trust and raise ethical concerns. So, ethics risk started with first example as I recollect and continues even some identified by me. Dependency on external providers. Many corporations rely on external vendors or third-party providers for AI solutions. While outsourcing AI capabilities can offer efficiency and expertise, this is the benefit of outsourcing, the efficiency and expertise. It also introduces dependencies and risks related to service disruptions, vendor lock-in, and intellectual property concerns. Some of these were said earlier also. We know outsourcing has some benefits, and we know there are associated risks. So it's not outsourcing related to AI only. Any outsourcing has that risk. One of them is I lose control. It's with my vendor now. Second is my dependency on vendor. When you start talking of business continuity and resilience, then we would say there shouldn't be any one vendor. We need to avoid single points of failure. The moment we are dependent on them, then the risk is that not only we could fail, they could also fail. So I am fine, my business is okay, there is no disaster with me, but there is a disaster with the vendor and my business suffers. But once again, that is not specific to AI only. That is with respect to any outsourcing that we do. Next risk I'm picking up is robustness and reliability. AI systems are susceptible to errors, biases, and adversarial attacks, which can undermine their reliability and performance. Corporations must invest in robust testing. So, while my attempt today or intention today was not to come to solutions, risk management, the attempt today was only doing risk identification, not even evaluation, not even mitigation, but some points about mitigation come here. And later on, closing, I will be narrating that story of the pigeon when I said, let's not be pigeons. That is towards solutions or management. So corporations must invest in robust testing. That's what the solution is. Validation and monitoring processes to ensure the accuracy and resilience of AI systems in real world scenarios. So I've touched upon BCM and resilience as well. This morning, by the way, I was delivering another talk, and full hour was devoted to organizational resilience. So even AI or in AI or in using AI, we will have to think of business continuity and resilience. Over reliance on AI decisions. This is where it starts becoming interesting, according to me. As AI systems become more integrated into corporate decision making processes, there is a risk of over reliance on automated decisions without human oversight or intervention. Please add with another comma, without human emotions also. Decisions taken without considering emotions, or decision taking without considering the impact on emotions. This can lead to suboptimal outcomes or missed opportunities, particularly in context where human judgment and expertise are essential. What are those? Ethical and social implications. When I say this, most likely the last one. The widespread deployment of AI technologies in corporate settings raises broader ethical and social implications. Almost all five initial inputs, Forbes, LinkedIn, professor of University of West of England, ChatGPT-4 itself, everyone touched upon ethical. I'm bringing in social also here. The widespread deployment of AI technologies in corporate settings raises broader ethical and social implications, including concerns about job quality, economic inequality, and the concentration of power in the hands of AI developers and corporations. This is serious, according to me, to be considered while we adopt AI in the corporate world. Could someone challenge a corporate decision, either hiring or firing, or any other decision? It could be with respect to investment into some new business also, if that decision has been taken based on or by the AI. And the second question, interesting. Could this be the next case in the court? I'll wait for a few seconds here for you all to focus on this bold in the last two statements. This needs to be taken back, according to me. From the session, this should be taken away. Go back and discuss in the corporate, in your offices, in your companies, organizations. Could someone challenge a corporate decision, hiring or firing, especially? This is where those human emotions also come into picture. In a business, investment related decision, emotions may not come into picture, but hiring, firing, and especially firing, could that then be challenged, and could that be the next case in the court? I'm looking forward to a movie plot or a novel plot in this single sentence. Could this be the next case in the court based on AI adoption in the corporate world? When there are so many risks, as understood, risks are inevitable. That's a fact. Either A, B, C, or D, risk will happen. Then what have we done? So this is second global research that I did based on that. The results here. And the question was, in the light of increasing usage of adoption of AI in the corporate world, knowingly or unknowingly, formally or informally, officially or unofficially, have you reassessed your risks? Have you updated your risk register? Have your risks changed? I would say surprising outcome so far. 11% said they do not allow use of AI. 50%, 56% that this poll acted as a reminder that we had to look at our risks freshly, which means 50% automatically, roughly, are out. They have not assessed whatever may be the response. I'm repeating. Second column, which is the tallest column here, that this poll acted as a reminder. Oh, yes, the one we now understand. We should look at our risk register once again, reassess our risks. 11% said they will do in the next cycle. Immediately, we are saying, yes, this has come as a reminder. So this 56 and 11 could be one together, perhaps. That high percentage of participants or respondents. Whenever next risk assessment is due, a refresh or a review of our risk register is due, we will pay attention with respect to risks of AI adoption. And we can say this is good news also, 22% had already done the reassessment in light of increasing usage or increased usage or adoption of AI in the corporate world. I'll repeat, knowingly or unknowingly, formally or informally, officially or unofficially. This is happening. Next step, even if we have woken up that we need to reassess our risks, even if we have already done, even if we are planning to do in the next cycle, the next question is even to ask this question to your vendors. Even they might be using AI, which may be an increased risk for them, which means an increased risk for you. So have you proactively or otherwise engaged with your vendors or suppliers to inquire, about their AI usage and the associated risks? One benefit of doing this is that there is a learning from others also. It's possible that we pick up something from our vendors. Or if vendors are weaker than us, less than us, then we can tell them, we can share our good practices with them. This is what we have done. So you could also follow, because this is a valid valid question for sure. This is where I would like to narrate the story of the pigeon. Let's not be pigeons in life. I do not have a scientific proof for this, but I have known this story right from my childhood. That if there is a risk, there is a pigeon and a cat opposite to each other. When the pigeon sees the cat in the story, it closes its eyes. There is no risk. There is no cat. While for the cat, it becomes very easy to jump and eat the pigeon. So let's not be pigeons in life, which means the first step in risk management is to admit that there is a risk. If I do not admit that there is a risk in usage of AI, I will not be able to manage that risk. If I do not admit that there is some risk in driving or driving rash or driving on hills in icy conditions, if I do not admit that risk, then I will not be able to manage that risk. So the first step, I have not gone deep into solution of each risk that I have raised, perhaps a list of 15 risks, but one common is to not be pigeon. Let's first of all admit and then find solutions. We can spend more time and then we can do that. So coming towards the close of my discussion, as I said, this would be a different type of talk today, is kind of a reading of my paper. So I'm saying implications and recommendations, a lot of reading from the slide today. Enhanced awareness campaigns. So this is also towards solutions, but this is common, not for a particular risk. Given the significant proportion of respondents viewing the poll, as a reminder, organizations should consider launching targeted awareness campaigns to educate stakeholders about the implications of AI tool usage on risk management. So this is about raising awareness. This is about that admittance. Just for information, BCI, Business Continuity Institute, headquartered in UK, but the members are across globe. I am also a fellow of BCI. Every year, Business Continuity Awareness Week is celebrated. This is known as BCAW plus R, Business Continuity Awareness plus Resilience, also this year, 13th to 17th May. It's good to talk about AI risks during that week this year. Raising awareness, which is the first point, enhanced awareness campaigns, it says. Integration into regular review processes. Organizations planning to reassess risks in the next review cycle should ensure that AI-related risks are integrated into existing risk assessment frameworks. There's no need to have another framework. The existing framework, whichever framework you use, can be used for this work also, this piece also. This ensures that potential risks associated with AI adoption are systematically identified, evaluated, and mitigated. This is full story of risk management. Third one I'm saying is benchmarking against industry good practices. So businesses that have already undertaken risk assessment, reassessment, should benchmark their approaches against industry best practices. This enables them to refine their strategies and ensure that they are adequately prepared to address emerging risks associated with AI technologies. This is easy to say, the last one, but very difficult to achieve. I have been raising this again and again across globe. We all look forward to knowing from others their best practices, your best practices or good practices, but we are always reluctant in the name of also the confidentiality. We are reluctant to share our good practices with the external world. So my request is all who are sitting, all organizations, individuals, if you have done any work, please come forward. It's not only learning, there has to be sharing also, and both are forever. We'll be happy to invite you as speakers to share your experiences here, if you have any experiences around this over this platform in coming weeks. While concluding, I'll say this. The findings highlight varying levels of awareness and preparedness among professionals regarding the need to reassess risks in light of AI tool usage. While some organizations have already taken proactive steps in this regard, others view the poll as a timely reminder. So I will say even this session, today's session, must act as a reminder to some, if not all, to incorporate AI-related risks into their risk management practices. Moving forward, concentrated efforts are needed to raise awareness repeatedly. That's the first point, and we must all pay attention to that. A lot of effort is required. Time, money, effort to raise awareness with respect to risks of AI adoption. Integrate AI risk assessment to regular review processes. This should not be one-time activity. It should be a regular activity. The way we manage our business, we should talk of AI risks. and benchmark against industry standards to effectively navigate the evolving technological landscape. Last point, my own case, as I said, I have been using it. I wouldn't say I've been using extensively, but I say I use my eye, the eyes, and eye intelligence before the AI and after the AI. This is how I have been using, and this is how we should use. Great benefit of AI is in developing videos and video courses also. My way of managing risk is that I ask. I do not become pigeon. I admit. And I have got clarification from Udemy. My three courses are already there, but they were not produced using AI. Next one for sure is going to be using AI, but the risk has been managed that Udemy will accept it. They have no objection to AI generated videos being used in the courses deployed on their platform. So this is what I wanted to say in the last. Happy to take questions. I'll stop here. Thank you very much, and back to Dr. Ritika.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the enlightening session. And this session has obviously enlightened the participants about the real scenario. And yes, there are certain questions which from the participants, which I would now like to take up with your permission.
Okay.
So the first question we have is, AI adoption is a fast embracing technology that all companies want to take up. But are there the required regulatory norms in place, especially in India?
I guess it'll be very short answer. Most likely no, none yet. Nowhere, but awareness is increasing. Some sessions are being held. Some discussions are being held. I'm sure some regulations will come soon. Will come up soon. Yes.
Absolutely. Next question we have, AI apps that may be based on large language models may involve many hidden vulnerabilities which the current developers and testers may not have even imagined. So, in such a situation, how safe it would be for an organization to launch a complete AI project or app based on a large language model, which, let's say, their team will not be able to handle in case there is an unexpected risk or vulnerability.
Yeah. It's good. We are admitting there are risks. I'm happy with that. If I'm that company, my approach should be like this. And immediately, this is risk management starting. My approach should not be a big bang, open arms adoption of AI. I could go in steps slowly. Even if assume a code is generated using AI, the work is not over yet. The product is not complete yet. So there are a lot of testing required, and this is how we could manage that risk. That AI helped me to increase the productivity. A code, roughly, I'm saying, if I was taking a day to write, now it is written in a minute, few minutes. So remaining time, a lot of that I should, must then devote to testing so that that risk of any mistakes, errors, biases of AI could be taken care of. That would be my suggestion and approach.
Very rightly said, sir. But then, from this answer only, I would like to know that if we are not taking an all approach, which is absolutely right, how will organization decide and prioritize which use cases to prioritize for maximum return on investment?
I will admit that I'm no more a technical person. I'm a management systems guy.
Yes,
So
sir.
I may not be the right person to answer this question, but the response or one solution at least is in the first step, my first research to have a policy. The first step we all must do is to set up a policy, even if we say we won't allow usage of machine language and AI in, assume we are talking of a production house, software development house, in developing the code, or we will allow, we do allow. The challenge is there is a free version, and most of us, I'm saying myself, so far I've used the free version. And free version always has, of any product, any tool, has little less features, maybe a little more compromises, maybe a little less security. There is a paid version also. So the policy of the company would say we will pay for it. And then that's a little more assured, more secured version of the tool that would be used. This is how it could be managed, I would say.
Absolutely, so very rightly said. I think we would end this, but with one interesting question, another interesting question that I can see,
Mhm.
how AI is going to affect our education system.
Good. So I guess towards the end of my discussion, I did say I'm a trainer and consultant. I have developed 40 courses globally. 13, 14 perhaps are my own courses are copyrighted also, but no AI was used so far. 3 courses on Udemy also. So I'm into that fraternity, I would say. But next one decided it's going to be based on AI. I'll use it. So that's if we say this is education system. While I understand my courses are professional courses, these are not the qualification courses.
Yes.
Slowly, I'm again seeing change required in the educational policies also. Some universities, some institutes will be quicker. There's always, whenever new technology, new tools come into market, early adopters, they have some risk that the tool or technology is not established very well yet, but they have early adopters benefit also. It could happen that way. I look forward to usage of AI in educational systems also. Not only for
Good.
teaching, one is for producing the courseware, second is for teaching also, but third is for administration also. It's not
Yes, sir.
only teaching that happens in the institute, in the university. There's a lot of administrative work also. And again, if productivity is increasing because of AI usage, that is AI usage in educational systems.
Yes, sir. Very rightly said. So thank you, sir. With this, we'll come to an end to this wonderful session. And I would like to say that today's session has been on a topic which is, I would say, a torchbearer session, because the
Thank you very
risk
much.
of AI in corporate is something we all know of it in our hearts, but we have never accepted it coming up front. So today's session, I think, is a torchbearer session in this particular domain, that we have, yes, accepted that, yes, there is a risk and we need to be prepared. We need to brace ourselves to handle this up. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful session today.
Thank you
Uh,
very much.
with this, we come to an end to this wonderful session. And please accept this certificate from our side as a token of gratitude from BVICAM for
Thank
this
you very much.
wonderful session today.
Thanks a lot.
And similarly, we also have an e-memento. That is, I think, another advantage of this digital age, that we have converted everything to an digital form. So
Thank you.
thank you, sir. Thank you once again for this wonderful session today. It has actually been a torchbearer session.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot. And
Thank
good
you, sir.
evening to everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. So, dear participants, with this, we come to an end to this wonderful session today. I once again thank our expert, Damandev Sood sir. The feedback form link has already been shared in the chat window. I request all the participants kindly click on the same to submit your details and generate your certificate of participation. Dear participants, the feedback form link has been shared in the chat